moving forward into the future, you've written about this idea of a story of interbeing and reunion as being the kind of thing that would replace the stories of separation and ascent. Perhaps would you be able to kind of encapsulate what that would look like to someone who's not heard it before?
Yeah. So interbeing, a term coined by Thich Nhat Hanh. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody else thought of it too, though, because it's such a natural term. It's the successor, I see, to the story of the separate self. So instead of a Cartesian mote of consciousness in a flesh robot, the self becomes interconnected, interdependent, interexistent. The self becomes a nexus of relationship that includes the relationship. It's not just the nexus point, but it's the totality of the relationships radiating out from that nexus point, which means that it is actually unique because that totality of relationships looks different from another nexus point. So we have interconnection and, in a sense, a kind of a unity, but we also have difference. So then I earlier in our conversation, I elaborated about the story of interbeing, the understanding that what happens to the world, to any of these relationships, happens to me as well. And that another part of it is that the qualities of self, like consciousness, sentience, intelligence, are not only in human beings, but that they are fundamental properties of the world. And this is all indigenous people, as far as I know, believe this, recognize this, that we're not the only people, but animals are people too. Plants are, even stones, even the wind has an experience of being. And that the entirety of the world, or even the cosmos, also has an intelligence that's not less than human intelligence, but unfathomably more, that we can tap into and participate in. So that's what I would say is the successor story. And when we take that on, we understand, okay, we're not here then to impose intelligence on a world that has none without us. We are not here to stem the tide of chaos by domesticating all of reality and controlling it. Well, why are we here if there is an intelligence beyond ourselves? Obviously, we're here to contribute to it. We're here to contribute to life and beauty on Earth. And I think that if we reconceive technology in its purpose as being to contribute to life and beauty on Earth, then we have a new story, a new collective story that from which we can derive meaning and identity and purpose. And we can totally transform civilization. And so the first stage of that is that we heal the damage that's been done over 5,000 years of separation. And when we are so powerful, we humans are so powerful. If we really turned our minds to that, if we collectively agreed on that and made that the object of our will, planetary healing, 10 years, the world will be transformed. You can see what happens in specific regenerative projects, land restoration projects. There are people doing it around the world. Water retention landscapes and things like that. The Loess Plateau in China, they've through basically simple land feature contributions, like check dams, and swales and things like that, and trees planted in strategic places. Like the whole thing has come back to life, restored from the desert. There's, I think, the harbor I can't remember, it's in Australia somewhere, where they just simply protected it and maybe made a few. It's not to retreat from nature and let nature heal by itself. It's to take an active role in healing, in being an instrument of that healing. How can I serve the soil? How can I serve the water? That is because if you say, well, nature would be better off without us, then there's no purpose for humanity. But do you really believe that we're just nature's big mistake? No, we are here to participate. Just like every other species, we're here to offer something that serves the unfolding of life and beauty. So that's what I call the new and ancient story that can replace the story of conquest and domination and infuse our lives with meaning and give shape to our systems